Hello, hi, and welcome to a Boy Time feature. This time on the hit 2009 film Gamer. As,
Gamer.
as always, I'm joined by Babby. Why are we doing this? That's
I don't know.
That's probably important to right at the top, because we usually do good things for our features. With the major exception being Cyberpunk, which was one that we were both ragging on for about an hour. But we decided to follow up Mulholland Drive with Gamer, and I don't really remember why. I think, well, maybe we should go back to the beginning of our run-in with the Gamer film. Because one time you were in town, the great Twin Cities metro area, and we went to maybe one of the best record stores in the country, Electric Fetus, which is, I don't know how well known it is here. I think it's maybe our most famous record store. It's the record store that Prince used to shop at when he was alive and when he was just chilling, I guess. So we were there, we were looking at records, but they also have a very small movie section. And that movie section, I found a couple of treasures. Like I found Dawn of the Dead, and I also found a Japanese copy of Spirited Away. So they get some kind of niche underground stuff, even though it's it's not a movie store or anything. But Gamer was there, and it was $3, so I decided to pick it up as a goof. And it's just been sitting on my shelf, and I was like, I'll watch it eventually. I think I got it, number one, because it was called Gamer. And number two, the tagline of the movie is just unleash him. And I'm like, you don't want to unleash a gamer. That's
Unleash the gamer.
that's a dangerous proposition. So now that we're doing this thing, we're doing all these features as a series, we decided to take a little bit of a pivot after Mulholland Drive, do something different, and that's what we're doing. So we watched Gamer, directed by the great writer-director duo Brian Taylor and Mark Neveldine, who are most known for doing the Crank films, which I just found out right before recording this. So, if you're a fan of Crank High Voltage, and you have not seen Gamer, I recommend Gamer. That being said, I did give Gamer half a star. I don't know if we want to start with that. But I gave it half a star, but I also gave it a heart.
Okay. I gave it 1 star with no heart.
Okay. I'm sure we'll get into it. But I assume we're probably going to have to give a general plot synopsis because I don't know how many people have seen the hit film Gamer. Gamer is really, it's a tale as old as time in a lot of ways. It follows Gerard Butler, who plays Man. I think his gamer name is Cable, and then his real life name is Tommy Smith or something. I don't know why they name him Cable. That's never explained, but that's fine. He is in a death row prison, and Dexter from the show Dexter is a Mark Zuckerberg billionaire, which I guess would have been relevant at the time. And he has control over the United States government, kind of, and forces them to use the death row prisoners as a real game that gamers can control the death row inmates. And then they fight. And it's incentivized where the death row inmates, if they can survive 30 games, which by the way is way too high. That's too unrealistic, but I guess that's the point. If they survive 30 games and they're let go, they're given a pardon and are free to leave, even if they like are a serial killer. The plan kind of has flaws in it, but it's fine. But it's a gripping tale about man wanting to find lady, who is also there, and daughter. So that's pretty awesome. And ultimately save the world with help from Ludacris and John Leguizamo, who I think we are supposed to care about, even though he's just kind of annoying and then dies 2 scenes later, and then it plays like sad music. Um, so I guess we'll officially start our discussion of Gamer. What did you think? Just broad strokes.
I was entertained for the first like 10 minutes,
Oh
which was
no.
good because it. I don't know. This whole movie is edited like a 2009 skateboarding shoe commercial.
It is. Yeah.
It's just like there's zooms and cuts and effects consistently
Slow-mo.
all of the time. And then they just put over the Marilyn Manson cover of Sound of Silence or whatever that is.
It's the
Whatever song
Sweet
it was.
Dreams.
Yeah, Sweet Dreams. And it was the most 2009 thing I could think of. It definitely like nailed the 2009 Xbox Live
Yes.
golden age that it was portraying. Maybe a little bit too well, where I'm just like, nostalgia sucks. Like this era was nasty.
This era was really bad.
It was nasty.
Yeah, that's something that like, because we were like in elementary school in 2009. I guess like about to get out of it or whatever, but you know, we weren't aware of like where pop culture was in the late 2000s. It's kind of been a weird awakening for me as I've been like getting into like more retro-ish games, where I'm like starting to play a lot of games that I never played on like the PS3, and I'm like, this is so like it's so over the top, dark, edgy. I'm kind of surprised there weren't zombies in this movie.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, for reference, Modern Warfare 2 came out the same year as this movie. So that's where the
Yes.
culture was at the point, because that was the biggest game in the world.
True. And this definitely feels more like a Call of Duty kind of ripoff. Like that's kind of the aesthetics they're going for. And I think the crowd too. Like I think that's their target demo are the COD kids. Which I
Yeah,
don't,
this movie seemed like it was focus grouped by like a room of 12-year-old boys.
Yes.
And then they just said yes to every single idea they had and put it in the movie.
They did. And one of the main questions they asked the focus group was, how do you use the word gay? And how do you feel about the R slur?
I thought that was so funny because I'm like, this is so accurate to how things used to be. I'm like, this is like pretty good in terms of like what they're capturing here. It's just like not, it's not fun to look back on.
No, it's not. But it is pretty awesome. Because there's a lot of tits. Frankly, too many. I'll be honest. I was like, can we cool it a little bit with the nudity? And I feel like I come off as such a prude on the podcast because I'm always like, why is there nudity and stuff? And I feel like I have to defend myself every time. But like, I don't care if there's like nudity in movies or video games if there's a purpose. But most of the times it feels like that purpose is simply to objectify women, which is certainly the case with this movie. But I also kind of think that that might be the point because I'm having a hard time with this movie.
Its messaging is so conflicting because on
Yes.
one hand you have like ex-military guy who's a family man to his blonde wife and child
Right.
who is wrongly or not wrongly put in jail. So you have this sort of like super soldier US
Yeah.
veteran guy that needs to save the world while looking like the most basic white man ever. But then at the other hand, you have like they're trying to portray that like billionaires are horrible people and
Yeah.
try to like, and they control government spending and things, but also like objectifying women is bad? Question mark, maybe, but we don't really know because there's not really a message with it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what's so confusing. Because yeah, you're right. It's like all over the place, and I think what it's trying to say. But like specifically with like the objectifying women thing, it's like I feel like it's like especially movies of this era that try to comment on like body standards or whatever, or even just objectification of women in general. It feels like they do that by doing the thing, which is like kind of
Yeah.
what I was talking about when I talked about Cannibal Holocaust, where I'm like, you're trying to say that this is bad by doing the thing that you're saying is bad.
Hmm.
And so like I did a little bit of a review on Letterboxd, and the one scene that like I singled out is like it's a completely unrelated thing. Gerard Butler is out of the gamer, and now he's in real life. Which, by the way, if you die in real life, you die in gamer.
I
So
literally said that within the first 10 minutes. Like this is the whole plot. They also drop a "We live in a society" 5 minutes in.
I know I wrote that in my review too. I'm like,
Yes.
this is actually it's an instant classic, and it's Dexter who says it, which is awesome. But Tony Cable or whatever, Larry the Cable Guy,
Yeah.
is just walking down the aisle, or not the aisle. He's walking down an alleyway. But to establish that the city is like in disarray, like the opening of the scene is just like this woman with like obviously fake cans like getting fucked. And then it just like pans down to Gerard Butler. I'm like, was that necessary? Like, I don't know what you're trying to say here. Like, it
They
feels,
also do this stupid Blade Runner cyberpunk thing where they
yeah,
show a like dodgy part of town and it's just an Asian food vendor.
that's
Like, why do
true.
all of these things do this?
I don't know. Well, yeah, that's something maybe a greater discussion we need to have is like the blatant anti-Asian racism of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because for some reason it was so widespread during that decade specifically, where it was like it was big in the before times, obviously, and then it kind of went away, and then it like really like picked up again in the 2000s, where like it felt like every single Asian stereotype was used in like most mainstream movies at the time, which feels
Hmm.
weird looking back at now. Because like this is 2009. Obama was elected president. Like racism was supposed to be over, right?
It was over, guys.
It was over, so it was
The
just
Bush
weird.
era's gone.
George Bush and Dick Cheney are out. It's time
We
for
only blew up Libya and made it an open air slave market in 2009. It's the Obama era.
it's
We're
fine.
supposed to be nice.
It's the soothing, gentle hand of Joe Biden that is
Yeah.
gently guiding us towards a peaceful reality.
This is why Gamer exists.
This is why, yeah, Gamer is actually a response to the Obama administration
Yeah.
because Taylor and Neville Dean are actually racist, which is my headcanon. Which brings me to my second point. I think this movie might be racist. Because all of the good characters are white, except for
That's a
Dexter.
good point.
Dexter is a bad guy. But Terry Crews is the only black character in the entire movie, and he's a psychotic serial killer.
And
And
Ludacris is a hacker man.
that's, well, okay, I forgot about Ludacris. He's a hacker man, but he does get killed and he doesn't do anything. But John Leguizamo says the N-word, which I don't think that he can say. I think he's Mexican. I guess I don't know. But I was just like, and then he says like, because Logan Lerman, who I know from Perks of Being a Wallflower, he plays the guy who controls
Yeah, the 17-year-old
the
child.
17-year-old. He like buys upgrades for Larry, and then John Leguizamo's like, "Hey, why don't you upgrade any brothers?" And I'm like, "You can't say that like that. What are you talking? Did they think that they hired a black guy? I don't know. It was so weird." But yeah, I think the movie might be a little racist. But that's
I think
just
it's
me.
racist in the like American milieu way of just things are just casually racist when people are
Yeah.
not even thinking about them being racist.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I was joking when I said that Taylor and
Yeah.
Neville Dean were racist. I don't think
No, yeah. But
like
it's just like that's just I
it's
mean, you look at the just like the cast of characters and you have
yes.
military white guy with the freaking horrible script tattoo and then like his blonde wife and child against the system, which consists of an incredibly strong black man.
That's right. Who, by the way, has the most anticlimactic death ever.
He really does. I'm like, are they going to bring him back in the final confrontation? And they did, but it was just like, why?
Yeah, they bring him back just so he could be easily defeated. He like
Yeah.
doesn't even get to throw a punch. And Gerard Butler
Dexter's the
like
real
break
final boss.
yes. And he has a whole music number, which I guess
It's
we can
true.
get into.
Just insane.
Because I think wait, I need to look up when The Dark Knight came out. Because I'm like, are they trying to do a deliberately Joker thing?
He was
Okay.
the OG Joker.
Dark Knight came out in 2008. I don't think that they
Okay.
were ripping off The Dark
No.
Knight, but it's kind of weird that he has a whole music number.
Yes. It's a little out of place.
It's a little out of place. I think it's like to show that he has like control of all of these guys, but it's an odd. It's out of place tonally when there's like a bunch of murder and like sexual assault happening in the movie for there just to be like a random music number at the end with like choreography. I don't know.
Yes.
It feels a little weird. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what else we need to talk about. The other thing I thought was kind of weird is that Keith David is in this movie for like 2 seconds. And I like Keith David a lot. He's in The Thing. I think these days he's mostly known as a voice actor. If you look up Keith David, it's kind of like a Mark Hamill thing where it's just like, oh, you've been like consistently doing voice work for like 30
Yeah.
years and
I
nobody's really
recognized him immediately. I
yeah.
was like, why?
Why are you here? He interrogates Logan Lerman for like 2 seconds. And then, which by the way, that interrogation like was pointless. Like, what
Yes.
was the point of that scene?
I feel like there was like 3 plot lines that just disappeared.
Yeah, that was like the big one. Because, like, that was the big consequence is that, like, Logan Lerman, you helped Larry escape. So now we need to take you down to the slammer. And then Keith David starts grilling him. And then Logan Lerman's like, can you give me a pistachio butter sandwich with jelly? And he's like, they make pistachio butter? And then he says, yeah, it's really good. And then the scene
And then we
ends.
never see them again.
And then Keith David is gone. Logan Lerman does come back because I think it's like he's at the end when he's fighting Dexter and it's like
Oh
he's
yeah. He's like
controlling him.
I'm on your side now.
I don't really know what that means because
I
like
don't
is
either.
Larry controlled by Logan Lerman at that point?
I don't know. I think they're like he's controlled by both Dexter and the kid. So now
Oh,
he's just like he's got free will, but he's only got 2 people controlling him at the same time.
I see. So it was like a battle
Like a
of
force of
wills.
will. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Harry Potter did just come out, so that's
Exactly.
pretty awesome.
The brain magic was in.
That's right. You have to cast a spell harder.
Yeah, like you got to do an audition. You got to like you're casting a magic spell from your head. Like strain your face as much as you can, and just do like a weird hand movement, and then you got the part.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that like every time they show him playing the game, and he was just like
Yeah,
holding his
just
hands and like he's like playing with the Kinect, even though the Kinect
Yeah.
wasn't a thing. It was awesome.
Exactly. When did the Kinect come out?
2012. Let's see. Kinect, Xbox. It came out.
Came out 2010. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe they had a mole on the inside.
Maybe. Yeah, they were like, okay, this is coming.
They did bring up Bill Gates being the
That's
richest
true.
man, and I always thought that was kind of cute.
Hmm.
I'm like, how that's very 2009. Bill Gates is he even in the top 10 anymore?
I think he might still be in the top 10. Actually, no, there's like an Indian guy up there now. He
Yeah,
might be he might be teetering. He fell
let's.
off.
He did.
It's also weird that like their main billionaire like villain is like the most charismatic, quirky guy when that's just like never the case. I
No.
feel like he wasn't Southern at the beginning of the movie, and then he had a Southern accent for the rest of it too. I got really confused for a second.
Yeah,
Like when did he become Southern?
I don't know. Well,
He gives off a Mr. Boss kind of vibe from Smiling Friends. The way he
yeah,
talks is just like got that kind of draw at the end of it.
yeah. That's actually. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I don't know. Dexter's set in Florida. I don't know if he was like he slipped into that. Like I wonder if they were shooting at the same
Just
time and
started
he
this
got the
movie.
he got the accents twisted. I don't know. Fun fact, Bill Gates is not in the top 10 no more.
Okay.
But Steve Ballmer is number 10 and he I
Mm,
think is the current CEO of Microsoft.
okay.
So, Bill Gates is just gone. That's so
Probably for the better.
sad. I miss him. Whoa, wait, this is breaking news. In 2024, Bill Gates was number 7. It's only been this year that he was out of the top
Is it
10.
is it because of his divorce?
Probably. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Bezos.
Pieces.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos.
That's true. 2 divorces.
That's so sad. And Dr. Dre.
Mm.
He used to be in the
Yeah.
top 10 too.
Wow.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think so.
Was he ever? I don't think Dr. Dre was ever a
I don't
billionaire.
think he's ever a billionaire.
Yeah, he did make pills, so
That's true.
that's pretty awesome.
Speaking of Beats, 2009. That was the hot thing.
That's true.
Best thing, like you got Modern Warfare 2, you got Beats headphones, like life was good-ish.
Was it?
I don't know.
Was it good, or were you just a kid and life was simpler?
I don't know. I think like the Xbox Live era was genuinely like something that was insane because you were playing with people all over the country,
Oh yeah,
and it was like unbelievable to a lot of people at that point. But at the same time, the dialogue during those games when I was 9 years old was very much like this movie. So it was pretty accurate.
yeah. There is a line, and I'm going to quote it here.
Yes, we can't miss this line.
We can't miss
the
it.
embodiment of the entire movie.
I think this is when Logan Lerman is like, I hope we're on the same page, but it's when Logan Lerman is like buying upgrades for Larry, and he's like flipping through all the options, and he's just like gay, 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 retardedly gay. And then he's like, "Ooh, I like this one." I kind of was like, "What? Is that something that people said?"
Absolutely.
Okay, I had never heard that. But I was. Well,
I think you were
first-
more sheltered than I was as a child.
Yes, this is true. I was never on Xbox Live. I never had an
Yeah.
Xbox. So I didn't even know what swear words were until we started playing Counter-Strike. And then I was thrown in the deep end.
Throw it at the deep end.
As it were.
Mhm.
But I was that kind of perfectly sets the tone for basically how the rest of the movie is.
Yeah.
Which we need to talk about the other game that's in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Second Life.
Yes. Yes, because Second Life was big in 2009. And I guess it still exists and people do still play it.
Mhm.
But it was it probably hit its peak in 2009. So they were like, well, we gotta parody another super popular game, do Second Life, but we're gonna call it Society, which made me laugh every time they said it.
Yes.
But
I work in society.
I work in society. Oh, I don't know if I want to hire you people. Which, by the way, the person that was like lady was trying to get custody of the kid back
Yeah.
from, that is
Hmm.
Sam Witwer, who I know because he's in like every single Star Wars thing now, which I thought was kind of weird. Like he's the voice of Palpatine and Darth Maul and everything. And like going way back, they like modeled his face as the, like Darth Vader's apprentice in The Force Unleashed. So every time I see him in something, I'm like, that's so weird. Why are you in other things besides Star Wars things? So that was kind of disorienting. But we have to talk about society because society is a thing. It's like Slayers, which is the game that Larry's in. But instead of controlling death row inmates trying to murder each other, society, it appears to just be a sex thing. I don't see, there's nothing else that happens in society besides sexual assault and consensual sex between strangers on the internet. Like, is there anything else that goes on in society?
No, it feels like they shot one scene for it and then just like kept reusing it over and over again with the weird
Yes.
fisheye lens. It looked like it was freaking Cat in the Hat. I don't know.
It really
It
did.
was just like I think it was trying to play on like the you don't know who you're meeting online. It could be
Yeah.
anyone, which is a trope I think in 2009 was well played out at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's not completely disaccurate to like VR chat and all the furry weirdness that goes in that. But
True.
like, it's still like over the top and didn't need to be a thing. It was stupid.
No. Well, and oh, I need to look up this character's name because let me see if I can find it. The
Yeah.
person that Larry saves Lady from.
Yes.
Do you remember this guy's name off the top
I
of your
didn't know
head?
he had a name.
You didn't know? Oh.
I thought he was
Oh.
just random guy.
Oh
I
no.
didn't see the importance of who he was.
You're in for a treat.
Okay.
Um okay, I found it. This character, just for the record, is played by a man named Milo Ventimiglia, and the character's name is Rick Rape.
Oh, okay. Yes.
How,
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
how
That's
on the
great.
nose do you
Yeah.
need to be?
It's like they put that in like the table reading and then just never gave him a real name.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a sexual assault guy. I'm just gonna put Rick Rape on the whiteboard. We'll erase it later.
Perfect.
Once we think of a better name for this
I
character.
never did.
And then it just got swept under the rug. They were too busy trying to find dozens of women that are willing to take their tops off
Yeah.
for scale or whatever, which is impressive. They were able to do it. And most of them felt like they were just unnecessary. Sorry to keep circling back to this, but every time we're in society, it's just like kind of randomly there's like quick shots or like seeing all the sex happening, where it's just like close up of a butt, close up of a lady taking one tit out, or like two tits that are on two pairs of tits that are on ladies making out. And it's like, this is supposed to be like Second Life. And I was like, have you seen Second Life? That's not what goes on there.
This whole movie's shot like it's just like second between frame and just like it's like a hypnosis movie.
It
They're just like,
is.
look at all these images. Look. Look at the depravity.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I want to bring up is that like I feel like the discussion around attention spans really kind of started like in 2020 with like TikTok like really skyrocketing into popularity. But I'm like, movies aren't edited like this anymore. Like it has to have started like here in the like post Matrix action movie stuff, because like I couldn't even tell what was going on in any of the action scenes because it was cutting so much.
I know. I'm like, zoom out. Like, take one more second.
I know. Like even the opening action scene, I thought that my DVD copy that I got from Electric Fetus was busted
Yeah, I thought my
because
TV was broken because it is.
yeah, I was like, wait, what? Why is it like this? And then I think they were like trying to represent lag in some way, where like they were
Yes.
like cutting out frames in the opening action scene, and I'm like, this just it looks like the DVD is skipping. And
They go on an entire monologue about what ping means because it's a central thing to the freaking game
they do.
in the movie. They're just like, we need to explain ping to an audience and how it's a major plot line here.
Which, I mean, I guess it is. I mean, that is like what it is like.
Yes.
I do kind of want to talk about how like most of the other gaming stuff is just like so general that like it doesn't really apply to any game. Where it's like they're trying to get to the save point. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing that like gets them out of the Slayer is like they have to make it to the save point. But I'm like that doesn't like that's you don't save like right at the end of the game. Like that doesn't really track. And also the like Slayer game itself for some reason it has like I guess what we would know as like NPCs. But like COD doesn't have like people walking around in the middle of like a multiplayer game. And like for one of those, I think it's John Leguizamo. For some reason, he's not a Slayer anymore, and he's like a janitor in like a war zone.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know what
like-
happened there.
He's like sweeping the floor.
Why is he there?
I don't
They
know.
just shoot him and then he's just gone.
Someone uses him as cover.
Yeah.
I don't like this never happened. Like
It's like when Root Beer Guy died in Adventure Time and they just show it for about 3 seconds and then they never go back to it.
yeah. I was like, why? Why do you even have that? It like doesn't really make sense. And I think they throw something else in there, like in the opening interview that Dexter has with that like news show that is super 2009 because it has the like the burn-in thing from the
Starburst
network
and the burn-in and the...
where you can see like the same shot of the reporter lady
Yeah.
lowering her sunglasses as like the logo shows up, which I did appreciate because you don't see that anymore.
This literally what the Xbox Live like homepage looked like at the time. Everything's swirly and like gradient and
I was
ugh.
I was thinking of that like specifically when we're seeing like Logan Lerman like at the very beginning before like all the porn stuff shows up, where there's like all the icons. I'm like, this reminds me of like early iOS, like what that looked like.
Over stylized.
Over stylized. Like it's kind of interesting, like, and I guess this is another greater conversation that we could have of like the 2000s. It's almost become like a different kind of retro futurism now, where like it felt like in 2000s everything was trying to be sleek and modern, but it still had like the over designed stuff from like the 90s and early 2000s. It's like kind of an interesting design thing. And I guess you would probably know more about that than I would.
Yeah, I feel like UI design was very early in that stage. So like there wasn't any concern about readability at small sizes. So people just went crazy when it came to anything. And nowadays we've almost overcorrected to the point where everything is a simple shape or letter or something. So it's easily recognizable at any size anywhere, which is almost more dystopian than like what they're trying to portray here, where it's just like colorful in your face.
Yeah, that's like the one little bit of nostalgia I got from this where I'm like, man, I miss when like logos had character. Like it wasn't just like two solid colors.
They were bad logos, but they were at least fun.
Yeah. And like it was still that era of like trying to relate every new technological thing to some old analog equivalent.
Yeah.
Where it was like the things that I like kind of miss, even though they suck, are like the email thing being like a real letter with shading on it, or like
Right.
the YouTube being like an
The
old
YouTube TV.
CRT TV.
Yeah, that was the best app icon. It's like YouTube has an official app and they don't even use their logo anywhere on it.
I know. It's like that doesn't even, because like they
That's
were
like a
using,
sin nowadays. You'd get fired if you even brought that to like the first creative review.
but I think that it has so much character.
It does. It does. I go back and forth on a lot of that because there's a lot of good design work and there's a lot of horrible design
Oh.
work nowadays.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just way too oversimplified. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even remember what they were talking about NPCs in Slayer.
Probably.
Yeah, that felt like very out of place. But like, oh, the interview, like they were explaining the NPCs being like they're just like regular convicts, not death row convicts that like if they survive a full match, which they never really explain what the point of the game is. Is it just
they
to be the
kinda
last
show
alive?
scenes. I guess so. He's just like shooting things, and then all of a sudden he like reaches save point, and then
Yeah.
he's done. And they just go to a different thing.
They're just, yeah, then they go back to prison. But like at some point they're all gunning for Larry because he's the best soldier ever because he's survived 27 matches. But then like at some points we see that he's like on a team of people, or at least there's like 4 or 5 people that aren't shooting at each other. And I'm like, wait, is there squads? Is this like a team deathmatch situation?
Yeah, because there was one woman gamer.
There was, who got beat in the face by a guard and then immediately got her head blown off,
Yep.
which was pretty awesome to see.
Woman gaming representation.
Yes, woman gamer who gets murdered in her second scene. So that's pretty good representation if you ask me.
I suppose so.
Even Lady is a gamer, but her game is being controlled by a fat guy to get raped.
Yeah, a fat guy whose entire scenes look like a anti-smoking ad.
They really do. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Seven, but that's a way better comparison.
It's the freaking fisheye blue color palette, dingiest place you can ever imagine.
Do you want to end up like this guy who looks
Eating
like Brendan
waffles with,
Fraser
like,
in
a
The Whale?
mysterious syrup. Yeah, this is the whale before it came.
Yeah, it was like a waffle syrup sandwich.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Which honestly is kind of revolutionary. I'll be
Yeah,
the
it's
first
just like,
one
why
to
would you
say
do
it.
that? He also had like 6 monitors, and none of them were directly facing him. They were all at a weird angle, and I'm like, how are you doing that? Why do you need 6 first off? None of them are facing you.
None of them are facing him, and none of them have alternate camera angles.
Yeah,
So I don't
just
know what they're for. Is it so that he could be like masturbating in any position and
Yeah,
always
it's the
see
first
where?
spoon cave.
Like, that feels so unnecessary. Yeah, I don't really know what the point. Well, I guess the point is what you were saying, where it's like, be careful who you're talking to on the internet, because this hot lady could be a fat guy trying to masturbate. Which I guess is true.
I mean, yeah, but everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
You didn't need to like do the most over top thing in the entire universe.
Yeah,
It just like it wasn't interesting and it was just weird.
it was weird.
I'm like, I get that lady has to have a freaking point here so he can come save her, but like this is the
Yeah.
weirdest way to do that.
Yeah, that's like the most like that's the greatest offense of the like doing the thing you're trying to critique. Like specifically in like the where the guy is like picking her outfit and they're all like slutty names. I forgot all of them because they were only on screen for like a
Yeah.
second, but like I remember reading them and I'm like, come on. Like what are we doing here? Or it was like dang it, I forgot. There's like a clown one. I think there was like a prisoner and it was like I don't even want to guess, but they were all terrible. But then like he picks one and then like she does a 180 and then she just like sticks her ass in front of the camera.
Like, what kind of Sims are you playing in
doing?
2009? This is not a thing.
This is not, A, it's not how The Sims is. and B, it's not how Second Life is.
Yeah, it's like there was controversy when like The Witcher and Cyberpunk came out because there was
Yeah,
nudity in games, and it's just like we still don't have that because why
no.
would you do that?
The closest, I guess, is like Baldur's Gate, where you can like
And
kind
that's
of,
like purposely like that's good, like that all fits in with everything. It's
yeah,
not even like it's like shock value.
no, that doesn't feel like exploitative.
Yeah,
Mainly because everybody gets naked in that game, so it's just like
exactly.
that's
It's
what it
just a
is.
part of the game.
That's kind of a part of D&D if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can try to pretend that it's like a fantasy thing, but everybody's like fucking each other in D&D.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you have a tabletop game where it's your imagination. People are gonna,
Yeah.
try to do that.
And
So
and they're all shut loser incels, so it's just
yeah,
it's gonna go that way. So it's just accurate representation.
I think it's just crazy though. Like if you look at a game like Baldur's Gate, which is like incredibly inclusive and doesn't really put any group of people down, and like
Yeah.
has such a diversity of like everything in it, it's phenomenal. And then you look back on like what they thought games were in 2009 when it came to like women in video games.
Yeah. Which I mean isn't entirely wrong.
No, but I feel like I think when it comes to like the audience of gamers, there's a certain sector of there's a kind of like two spheres of gamers in nowadays where it's like the usual degenerate like woman hating like morons
Yes.
and then just normal people. It felt like normal people did not exist in this movie.
No. No. I mean, like, I guess we can't like sit here and be like, this wasn't how games were. Cause I was like just playing Mass Effect and every single woman is wearing like a skin
Yeah.
tight armor. And I'm
I
like,
think it was how games were.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like even in something like Mass Effect where they're like women are super hyper sexualized, it isn't like, and then you get to see the two hot tentacle ladies make out and then they take their tits out and then they start like like it isn't like that.
Mhm.
It isn't like, but and that's like how this movie shows like sex in society.
It's like it's trying to critique it, but it is also that. Like there's
Right.
nothing pushing back against it, which I
I,
think is just where it falls on its head. Even with any sort of messaging or anti-capitalist, anti-billionaire, anything, it all just falls flat on its face because it just ends up being guy saves wife.
yeah, I don't really know what, if any, message this movie is trying
Yeah.
to do.
I think it was trying and it just didn't work.
Really?
I also like the ending too because like
Speaking of Blade
we killed the billionaire and then they just kind of drive off into the sunset Fast and Furious style.
yeah,
But he murdered like 10 people outside of the game and
that's true.
he just can walk away. He murdered a billionaire on live television.
Yeah, but he was a bad guy. He was
Yeah, so everybody
willing.
was just like, oh, he's cool.
He was willing to kidnap 1,000 children before he let
Yeah.
this company die.
It was just weird that the movie just ended. I'm like, okay, the only thing more 2000s movie that could have happened is they all like danced at the end. But the second most popular thing was just to drive off into the sunset with your family, like it was all behind you.
But the ending was actually a very clever allegory for sex.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you caught this. They
Probably
end
not.
by driving a car through a hole.
Oh, I see. Mhm.
It's very,
That's clever.
It's very clever. Because now it shows that man and women will bang again.
Yes.
And hopefully will produce
the
more
only
Aryan
subtle
children.
Yeah. God bless America.
God bless America. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but
Probably not.
that whole time I'm like, this is literally the ending of Blade Runner, where they're just like
Yeah.
trying, and now they're on the run. But for some reason, it ends like they drive into a tunnel and we see them drive into it. And then it just like cuts to black. And then it says game over, insert coin, which is how you know
Yeah,
that this movie
which
is
is
written
just
by 40-year-olds.
insane.
Because they're like, oh, video games, those are those things you put quarters in, right? Even though we're like doing a Call of Duty thing, which doesn't have coins, and neither do sex games like Leisure Suit Larry, which I'm assuming they're trying to model society off of.
Of course.
Which, by the way, did you know that a Leisure Suit Larry game came out like last year? How are they still
That's
making
crazy.
those?
Still got juice in the tank.
I guess so. I guess there's always a market for cartoon naked bimbos.
I mean, have you seen Steam?
Yes, that's a good point. I think I actually saw it on Steam, and I'm like, why is this
There
still
you
a
go.
thing? I don't know who's buying these anymore, but someone is, and that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Gamer. Uh, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Well, we
Yeah.
didn't talk about Cyberpunk.
Oh, I feel like I don't know.
This
I've
is
dogged on that game enough.
yeah.
There's some cyberpunkisms in this movie that are not good ones.
Yes, I've
Specifically with billboards and advertisements and
yes,
just making everything gross for no reason.
for no reason. I feel like it almost works a little bit better in the movie than it does in Cyberpunk. That's what I will say.
Okay.
Mainly because this movie came out uh 16 years ago and Cyberpunk came out 4 years ago, where I'm like, okay, I can kind of look at this and be like, it's over the top, but also everything in the late 2000s was. So I'm like, okay, I can almost kind of excuse it. But in Cyberpunk, I'm like, okay. Also, with Gamer, I think they may have a sense of humor about it, just in like how over the top it is. Like
It was
the
unintentionally funny a lot of times.
yes. But like that was my thing. Where like, are they also in on the joke? Like, do they know that like they're way overplaying the like nudity card? Like, I don't know, and I don't know if we'll ever know because who cares enough about Gamer to do like a post-op with the directors and be like, "What were you thinking when you wrote?"
I could
Gamer?"
see one of those stupid YouTube channels doing like an hour, 2 hour video essay on this movie, just trying to mine anything they can out of it.
But like,
There, there
who's watching?
there's, yeah,
Who would
I don't
watch
know.
that? This movie actually has a lot of people who reviewed it. I'm kind of surprised.
It is. I'm just like, is this like a cult, like underground, like laughing stock?
It has 50,000 people who logged it on
Yeah.
Letterboxd, which means that like there's way more people outside of that who've seen this, which I think is kind of shocking and frightening.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, I can't tell if they're in on the joke. Like specifically with that like billboard scene that I cited earlier, where it like has absolutely no connection to the scene that follows.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, is that a joke? Like at this point, there's been just so many scenes of like women taking their tops off for no reason. Like at this point, it's just showing porn on a billboard a joke. Like how over the top it is, I don't know.
It's like their idea of like a cheeky segue.
yeah,
Because
like
there's no other billboard like that in the
no,
entire movie.
no. That's what I'm like. Okay, is this like I can kind of look at it from an angle where they are like that is like straight up like satire almost.
Yeah.
Where that's like so far beyond the line where it's like, okay, that's a deliberate joke. I can kind of see that. But like in the billboards in Cyberpunk, where it's just like overtly just like look at tits, look at ass. Like that doesn't seem to have like any sort of sense of humor or even like critiquing anything in that way.
It's trying to be a serious critique.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I think just like but like doing the satire, doing it like with a sense of humor is way more effective. I think. But I don't know.
Yeah. There's ways to do it. I don't think.
No, I'm not saying that this movie is like like great
No. I don't think this
representation.
movie did anything right.
No. I'm just saying there's an avenue where you can kind of
There
look
is.
at the nudity
Yeah.
of as being like somewhat satirical. Whereas I don't really think there's that lane to look at it in that way in Cyberpunk, but I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me,
Yeah.
dog.
I don't know. I think there's like, if we like talk about like Blue Velvet and all of the very disturbing and kind of themes in that movie, and then you
Yeah.
compare it to something like this, like that's a real critique because
Yes.
it makes you uncomfortable. It doesn't indulge in it in the same way that this does, where it's kind of like offhanded and just doesn't seem like it feels glorifying, and when it's trying not to do, it's
Yes.
weird.
That's a good point. Like trying to compare the nudity in something like Blue Velvet to the nudity in this, where it
Yeah,
feels like in this, it's very much like, look at tits, look
right.
at ass. This is what you want because you're a teenage boy in the in the
Hmm.
2000s.
Or even
Uh,
for like Fire Walk with Me, like they're
yeah.
topless for like 40
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, but like that's like the most uncomfortable nudity that you'll ever
Exactly.
see in your whole
Yep.
life.
Yep. So I'm like, there's ways to do it, and this movie obviously
Absolutely.
did not have any sense of nuance when it came to any topic it portrayed,
Right.
which makes it unintentionally funny and kind of entertaining. But also, like, I'm glad it was an hour and a half and not any longer.
I was
It was
too.
really funny because like the action scenes took a little bit, but every time they needed to like fill you in on information, the characters would just yap at you for like 2 minutes rapidly, and then it'd be done. Like they got information out so quick.
Yeah, well, they have to get to the next action scene that you can't
They
tell
were
what's
like
going on
just,
in.
it's like someone did 2x on the freaking movie and they just ran through the dialogue.
I know. Well, I don't. I can kind of respect that, and that it's like they're just focusing on what's important,
Yeah.
and that's the action. Even though the action is all shot and edited so poorly that you can't understand what's
Hmm.
happening, and also the fake blood is so awful in this movie. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I guess it is what it is. It's the times, but also I want to credit this movie because they did a truck flip that was real.
Oh, that
Like,
was real?
yeah, like, well, I mean, you would tell. You would be able to tell in 2009 if it was a fake truck. Like
Yeah, I suppose.
it looked like really well done. And I'm like, people need to talk about Gamer for like there's actually decent special effects in this movie.
It'd just be great if we could see them, if the editing would
Absolutely.
just like lay off the Adderall for 1 minute.
Yes. That's why like I'm kind of torn. Like cuz like the action scenes are all bad. Like they're all
Yeah.
boring and disorienting. Like you can't tell what's going on. But also like there's some practical stuff going on. There's like real explosions and like Larry is like running through like live fire. I'm like that's cool. I like that. But it's like we see like three different angles of just like one shot of him running. So like it kind of softens it. So I'm just giving the movie credit, or at least the special effects department credit, because the editor snorted 3 lines of coke before editing the movie in an afternoon.
Like, this is so
This
sick.
is so awesome. I need to see this from all these different angles. He's like the guy wanting to masturbate.
Yeah. It's a self portrait a little bit of a meta
It is.
commentary. A look behind the curtain.
I wonder if the editor realized that. He was like,
Yeah.
what have I become?
I don't know. I feel like there is something here though, where like if this movie was like revived and like kind of stripped out and remade, you could make a good movie out of this. I
Yeah.
think they just lack every single piece of nuance they possibly could. Like if you give this a fresh coat and like sit down and actually take this seriously, there'd be a pretty banging movie in here.
Yeah. You could do something with this
Hmm.
premise. I mean, I mean, that's kind of what like Suicide Squad is, where it's like these death row inmates
That's
that
true.
like do missions in order to get like pardons. Kind of like the general premise. I do kind of like the idea, like it's kind of a clever idea, especially during this time when like so much of the discussion around video games was like they're too violent. It's like you're murdering real people. And so like someone had a great idea. It's like what if they were actually murdering real people? And then
Hmm.
it just went downhill from there.
And then they just never expanded on it. Like you
Yeah.
have the premise of like a billionaire who controls all the social media and gaming companies trying to buy your influence and take your attention span and your life away.
Yeah.
Like you can do a lot with that right now. It didn't have the foresight to have anything
Yeah.
interesting to say.
Well, kind of Squid Games.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that are kind of adjacent to this that have kind
Yeah.
of come out.
I'm like trying to think because like it feels like a premise that I've like kind of heard before or
Yeah,
seen
everything
before.
was very familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. That maybe this is like the predecessor to some actually decent dystopian sci-fi.
Hmm.
But I can't
Is
think
Gamer
of
influential?
no,
No,
absolutely
it's
not.
not.
No,
I'm
no.
just trying to think of the stupid YouTube algorithm where it's like,
Oh.
this unknown horrible movies actually influenced some of your favorites.
This is your favorite filmmaker's favorite movie. Gamer. I did want to say I did laugh out loud when I saw the Lionsgate logo because I knew that it was going to be terrible. I saw the gears and I'm like, oh no, this is a Lionsgate production. And it perfectly set the tone for what the movie was. So I guess I do kind of have to give credit to Lionsgate
Hmm.
because I knew immediately that the movie was going to be bad. So
Yeah.
they're good at that.
I also want to know, like, how do normal people perceive things like this? Because I didn't have the DVD. I had to buy it on Amazon Prime
Mm.
or rent it for $4, or I could have bought it for $5 because it was on sale.
Oh, you should have
But I
bought it.
wasn't gonna buy a Gamer. But it has 4.5 stars on Amazon Prime, and I'm like, who's
Oh,
watching this and rating it like 5 stars?
here's the
Is
thing.
this like a 45-year-old dad like movie? Like, I just want an action movie.
Maybe. I think sometimes, and I have no way to confirm this, but I don't know. This is my speculation. Is that I think on Amazon Prime specifically, the reviews for it are also the same reviews for like if you buy the DVD physical on Amazon.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
Yeah,
people might be like, this is a good quality DVD and it came to me fast. Five
gotcha.
stars. But then
Yeah.
like they translate that to also being like this is all good the movie is. Like
That makes sense because I'm like, there's no way.
yeah, I don't know. But that is the only explanation I have for Gamer being 4.5
Mhm.
stars. Because who's rating this higher than 1? That's what I want to know.
I was waiting, like, do I give it a half or do I give it 1? I'm like, I'm giving it 1 just because the opening sequence, where like nothing's explained to you and you're just thrown into this like overstimulation editing nightmare, and then it just cuts to a guy saying we live in a society, and I'm like, that's it.
That's
Like,
it.
you get half a star for that.
That's fair. My reasoning for giving half a star is that I recently gave Fantastic Four 1 star.
Okay, yeah,
So I said this movie is worse than the Fantastic.
yeah, that's fair.
But not by very much, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my mini review for the Fantastic Four,
Great.
which I won't talk about anymore.
I'm glad we got an hour of content on a Gamer. I was interested to see how our like discussion would go on a movie that's bad.
I think, in general, I have more to say about movies that I don't like.
Okay.
That's generally true on the podcast. Like I talked for
Mhm.
about Cannibal Holocaust for like 45 minutes.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to stink it up, and that's what we did
Real.
with Gamer. Do we want to say what we're doing next time? Because we do know.
Let's keep it a secret.
It's a secret. Okay, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Audience retention.
Yes. Subscribe to the Boy Time podcast because you
Yeah.
won't believe what's coming next.
You won't believe what's next.
It's been highly requested.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's been years in the making.
It's true. A lot of work.
Exactly right. Okay, bye.